Vital sound bite. This is like, it's interesting. Roll it.
I just wasn't comfortable last week, and to be honest, I wasn't comfortable. I was more comfortable second moto. Still, we have work to do, but I was able to ride the motos this weekend, which was good, like normal. But we tried a lot. No, I didn't stay calm. We had a meltdown on Wednesday. A meltdown. I mean, I shouldn't do that. That's not called for. But when you want to win, and coming into this weekend, I was like, well, we didn't really make anything better. So am I going to be better this weekend, or am I just going to be the same? So really, I mean, every session we tried something. I was very vocal and just mad all weekend. If I'm not comfortable on the bike and it's not doing the things that I want it to do, then how can, like, it's like going to a race knowing that you're going to get beat is not a good feeling to have. I mean, I always had my hopes up, but I wasn't like, oh, we made huge strides this week, like it's going to be way better. No, I did not think that. Everything else, I can normally mentally turn that off, but when it's your bike and you have to ride it, and you're expected to win on it, but you don't feel comfortable, like that's kind of a crap feeling to have, if that makes any sense. And that's what I've been trying to like reiterate to the team and like the people around me. I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to go out there and win, but I'm not comfortable. How do you think that is mentally on a person? Like, it's not fun. And then if I don't go out there and win, everyone just thinks I suck. Yeah, it's tough because you know what you're capable of, but if you aren't comfortable and you can't ride how you want to, how do you expect to go out there and win? It's tough. Like, I've been trying to mentally like overcome that, and I feel like I'm getting better, but like, and it's not like small things. It's like a big, like, we need a lot of change to get better. It's not like I'm like, oh, there's like these little things that are like problems. It's more of like you saw outdoors. I didn't change nothing. I was good all season. And then you go back to Supercross and it's like, oh, I'm starting at scratch, which is tough, but we'll get there. Everyone says it's not about the bike, but you need a bike to match your riding style. And yes, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you need it in the ballpark, and that's where we're trying to get to right now.
Very vocal.
You take it away, dude.
Yeah.
I will say this: hey Chase, no one thinks you suck, dude. So like, no, we expect you to win? Absolutely. You expect yourself to win. So yeah, we just expect you to win. We do. You are an unbelievable competitor. You're good. So we don't think you suck. How about that? So go ahead. What do you take of all this, Irene?
Well, I you can see the frustration, and it seems like they don't know. Obviously, he just said they changed a lot. Full meltdown on Wednesday, coming into the weekend, didn't really fix anything. Threw the kitchen sink at it on Saturday, also Friday and Saturday, and didn't make the bike much better. So the only thing I can say about that is everybody's going to be dealing with something. He may be dealing with a bigger set of problems. But I do say that if hypothetically, if he puts himself out of that gate into that first turn, 2 hole shots on the day, on Saturday, I think the outcome's different for him. It's a confidence thing. Yeah, the bike might not have been gelling with him 100% and in the track. And not saying he goes 1-1, but he puts himself in a much better position. When you're coming through the pack and things aren't gelling, you're not gelling with the bike. Now you have you're dealing with a whole different animal, and yourself, your confidence, the motorcycle being a little bit off, the track being tough. That's not a good feeling to be in. I can promise you that. So look, we know every one of these teams in Red Bull KTM, they're trying to make that machine the best they can for Chase. It's not that they're not trying. I can promise you that. But that's the beauty of our sport, right? Is you showing up every weekend ready to win, which I think Chase does. I know he does.
Yeah.
And also with the motorcycle, trying to get that machine to work on all those different conditions. And, this is his first time on these style of tracks with Red Bull KTM. So, and I think that the tracks are different. I think I'm not saying that, like they're not running full supercross and they're not running outdoors, right? There's this we talked about it year one last year with SMX, this hybrid kind of suspension and getting these motorcycles to work with a bit of supercross, but also outdoors where it's ruddy and rough and things like that. So, but I'll just go back to put yourself in a great position off that start. We just watched that replay, not the position you want to be in, especially if you're not gelling with the motorcycle.
Yeah, it's crazy, and I understand that there's more guys, especially like from my generation. I mean, the field is definitely deeper these days than it was then, right? So,
Yeah.
if you get a bad start or you have an ill handling motorcycle, obviously it's going to be harder to hide those mistakes and the uncomfortable stuff. But still, I'm still trying to figure out how like one moto this guy can do can get a certain position, but then the next moto just like dominate. It's so hard for me to understand that. It's crazy. Like I know that like the
And that's
bikes aren't.
the tough part,
Go
Ricky.
ahead.
That's the tough part right there, right? Like if you can win a moto on it, it should be good enough to be second or third on the box, on the podium, in the contention for an overall position. If
Mhm.
I've always said that if you can win a moto on it, you should be able to win or be more consistent than that.
Yeah, I too. And just looking at it, like I'm sure he's not the only one that's struggling with the motorcycle, dude.
Mhm.
Like I'm sure that I don't think anyone's bike was absolutely perfect. I don't know that. I'm just completely assuming. I mean, Jet, even on the podium, he said he wasn't happy with how his bike was working.
Silly mistake there with the bike stalling. Normally should have happened, but we're going to go back, do some map, and hopefully clean that up.
I think it comes down to I think all the bikes are winnable. If I do believe that. I watched them win. I watched two brands win in the 450 class this weekend. Um, I think that what it comes down to is which rider is able to overcome those type of scenarios is the guy that is going to be the best. Is
Mhm.
that's what I think. And I don't think anyone's bike is great all the time, and you have to be the best at managing those certain circumstances. And again, the guy that is able to do that the most to manage those circumstances when things aren't great um, is the guy that's going to be victorious over a championship type scenario. That's
Yep,
what I
I
think.
agree. And mitigating those risks, that right there would have been two great starts, right? Two whole shots, not gelling with the motorcycle, but at least you're up front. You're in a position to win both of those motos. And that
Mhm.
start wasn't if you're not gelling and you don't have the speed and you know that you're not gonna be able to ride to the front, you better start up front then.
Yeah, I mean exactly right, and we'll get into that.
Hi, folks. Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.